Coming off one of the toughest losses in program history in last year's MCC championship game, a game in which the Saints led by 3 goals with 17 minutes to play, the Ashford men's soccer team has had time to not only put the defeat behind them in the offseason, but retool for the program's first year in the AII.
When you have a disappointing loss at the end of the season, it takes about 8 months for you to wait till the next season comes around, and we did a good job bringing in the players we needed to replace the players we lost, and we've managed to bring in a lot of depth all over the field. So it's been a very, very competitive preseason.
To get ready for their first year in the new conference, fourth-year head coach Richard Markham sought out to the junior college circuit to bring in added experience to an already experienced group of Saints players.
Yeah, we've got a lot of seniors and juniors. We've got a lot of junior college players that have come in, and I think the good thing about it is we've got a lot of leadership. We've probably lacked some leadership in the past, so we brought in a lot of quality players that played very high level junior college.
One Saint looking to end his career on a high note is defender Geraldo Garza. A 2-time member of the NAIA All-American Honorable Mention squad, Garza will once again anchor the back end for the Saints. A switch back to his natural position of left back from the middle should help Garza feel more comfortable, but each game it's the same story for his style of play.
You know, and the thing with the Geraldo is you know what you're going to get. So, you know, every game you're going to get a guy that's been tested, and you need those guys that have been through everything. You know, he wants to see it through. He's seen us go from a national, you know, appearance his freshman year to 2, you know, seasons where we were very good but just didn't get to that next level, and I think this year he just wants to go out on top, and I think he deserves to. The
challenge for the Saints prior to the AII tournament is one of the toughest schedules in school history. Ashford is set to face off with 4 teams ranked in the preseason top 10 and 2 more receiving votes for the top 25. But what the tough schedule will do is get the team prepared for the games that matter the most in late October.
Obviously the goal is to go out there and play with them and hopefully get results, wins, you know, but I think the main goal is to prepare us for the AII tournament. First off, get in, which is, you know, which I think our schedule and our RPI will be good enough to get us in. But then it's be good enough to not only win, get to nationals, and then once we get to nationals, our goal is not to just be happy to be there.
With the exhibition schedule out of the way, the Saints now meet the regular season head-on as they travel to Bethel College for their season opener.
You have 5 teams in the top 10 on your schedule.
Coming off a year in which they grabbed their 2nd consecutive share of the Midwest Collegiate Conference regular season crown, the Ashford women's soccer team looks to carry that momentum into their first year as members of the AII. With less than 3 weeks to prepare for the season opener, 9th-year head coach Mick Regan has the task of getting the team in shape while keeping a group of healthy bodies on the field.
Well, you have to be careful because you push too hard too early and you get injuries. So we give them a couple of easier days, first couple of days, and then we ramp it up a little bit, and then taper off, and then a day off, and then we ramp it up again, and you know that's what we're in the middle of now.
Ashford returns 13 players from last year's squad, including 88% of the team's offensive output. Yet despite the amount of familiar faces, this year's squad for the Saints shapes up to be deeper than the one that took the pitch last year, especially on the attacking side.
I mean, we kind of finished our season, you know, on a bad note against St Ambrose. I mean, they kind of shut down Holly and Chelsea, and you know, we struggled. You know, so we've brought in lots of players this year that can score goals, that can create goals, and we're pretty excited about that. You know, we're going to be a lot more dangerous from multiple positions. So.
With the slew of newcomers joining the team, last year's top scorers in Chelsea Fisher and Holly Babbitt each return after combining for 26 of the Saints' 40 goals. Although the two welcome the pressure that comes with being the top options offensively, each realizes the ability to score more is very possible with their new teammates.
I personally love the pressure. I mean, people look to us as the goal scorers or people that set up other people. Like I personally thrive that kind of thing. But I think we have good girls, more good girls now that can definitely help us out.
It's not just going to be a kind of two-man team up front. We have lots of incoming players and lots of old team players that are going to come in and make more of a difference, I think.
Also returning to the Saints in net will be senior goalkeeper Jerica Castillo, who was named to the first team All-MCC in her first year as a starter. Although Castillo was great last year, her role this year has taken on a whole new level of intensity.
This year I'm a lot more loud, a lot more confident, I could say. Just directing my defense, directing the midfield, telling them, you know, where to go, when to step, and when not. And I have a pretty loud voice, but I see myself as, you know, quite a big leader this year.
It's huge. You have a weak goalkeeper, and it changes everything. You have to defend higher up the field, you know. So it's really important for us to have, you know, two solid goalkeepers. It's a good situation to have two very, very strong goalkeepers.
With the combination of returners, solid goalkeeping, and plenty of depth, this year's squad appears poised to return to the NAIA National Tournament for the first time since 2010. As the Ashford volleyball team gets set for their first year as members of the AII, one thing about this year's team stands out: the number of young new faces donning the purple and gold for 8th-year head coach Micah Siwi.
We're young. You know, one senior, one returning junior that has varsity experience, and then obviously some transfers in obviously helped us out, but a very large group at the freshman and sophomore level.
I think we have a lot of talent. Obviously, we're a very young team, so there's going to be, you know, silly mistakes here and there, but I feel like once we eliminate those and become more consistent, we're going to be very good.
One player the team will be relying on heavily on the court is Gabur, the Saints' lone senior. As the team's top setter, she has the task of running the offense, but it's her role off the floor that could prove to be the most important.
I'm definitely trying to step up more as a leader, like on and off the court, bring the team together more. We've had a lot of clicks in the past, and I feel like this year it's like my job to kind of bring the team together and set the role for how it's supposed to be.
Liz's position will be huge as a senior. Obviously, she wants to go out with a bang. We want to have a great year. We're kind of riding on her shoulders as like you said, the quarterback of the team. So that position will be huge for us. We need a leadership position role out of Liz, and we really need her to guide us. She's been through the program for 3 years. She knows what we expect. And we really need her to take us kind of to that next level.
With so many newcomers joining the Saints this year, the team's chemistry takes on a whole new look. Yet despite the amount of new blood, the feel for this year's team has been very positive, even during position battles in practice.
Team chemistry, communication, you know, I think with a lot of teams is key, but especially with this team. You know, with the younger faces, you know, from different places, only having them here for about a week or two before we get going, we need them to mesh well. You know, so far they're doing a pretty good job of it.
This year, but everybody kind of just meshed together really well this year, and I'm really happy about it because last year was kind of like awkward in the beginning, but this year I think it's going to be
All the girls
year.
are stepping up.
For the first time in school history, the Saints will be battling for a spot in the NAIA National Tournament as a member of the AII Conference. Ashford will suit up against new opponents from around the country, as well as some familiar faces from the Midwest Collegiate Conference. Although the team is young and the conference is new, Siwi likes the chances his team has of earning a berth in the national tournament.
I think the AII presents itself very well for us as a volleyball program. With the MCC last year only having one bid, you know, we really sold it to recruits and to our girls that, you know, hey, we get an opportunity to get another bid this year. Obviously, we have to make the conference tournament. We feel that we can do that with our group of girls, with our talents, but it's going to take a lot of work.
It appears as if the hard work is paying off in the early going, as Ashford knocked off 11th-ranked Taylor University during an exhibition tournament at Cardinal Stritch University last weekend. If that win is any indication of how the season will be, Ashford could surprise many come postseason time. The 2012 season is one of transition for the Ashford men's and women's cross-country teams, as track and field head coach Chris Adams assumes duties as the head cross-country coach. While Adams is used to being the head man in the spring, he should have an easy time adjusting to his new title this fall.
I'm excited. I think that we're lucky. I think that the team and myself that I have been around for the last 4 years, so I think the transition is going to be easier than it could have been in other circumstances, and I think we're moving forward well.
The team Adams inherits is a younger and smaller group than last year's squad. Even with the reduced numbers, the team has adapted to their new coach and have bonded to push each other harder than ever.
Practice is going great. Our team is a lot smaller this year, but we're a lot closer now, so it's easier to push ourselves in practice. It's a new team, it's a young team, so we'll grow together.
We've got some great returners that already know the ropes, and that always helps. When you bring in coaching, regardless of whether they know the coach already or not. So,
with a chance for everyone to gain experience, the two squads should continue to see improvement throughout the year and in seasons down the road.
Okay. Coach, this is so much. Coach, this is so much.